Welcome to the journey of exploring one of humanity's greatest treasures, Greek mythology. These are not just fairy tales about powerful gods and invincible heroes. Greek mythology is a convergence of imagination, philosophy, beliefs, and even the primal fears of ancient humans. Over 2 millennia have passed, and these stories continue to live on, not only in books but also in films, paintings, architecture, and modern Western culture. From familiar names like Zeus, Athena, Hercules, to monstrous figures like Medusa, Minotaur, or Hydra, all stem from a glorious and mysterious culture. However, Greek mythology is not a completely unified system. Many stories have various versions, retold over time by poets like Homer, Hesiod, or adapted by later playwrights. In this video, we will bring you the most popular and widely accepted version, a clear, coherent, and colorful synthesis. So, where did Greek mythology begin? How was the universe created? Who were the first gods, and why were there legendary wars that shaped the divine realm? Sit back, relax, and join us as we embark on the greatest story ever told by humankind. Part 1. The Origin of the Universe. Before time, before light and matter, the universe was just an endless void, chaotic and formless. The Greeks called it chaos, not the kind of chaos we understand today, but a primal state yet to be shaped, where there was nothing and where everything began. From chaos, the first entities appeared. First came Gaia, the goddess of Mother Earth, symbolizing life and fertility. Then came Tartarus, the dark abyss where souls would later be punished. Eros, the god of love, also appeared, representing attraction, connection, and the origin of all future unions. Then came Nyx, the night, and Erebus, the deep darkness. These two entities symbolized the dark side, death, and eternal silence. These were the first pieces of the Greek universe, not humans, not all-powerful gods, but primal symbols for the natural laws. The Titans and the rebellion against the sky from Gaia herself, Uranus, the sky, was born. The two great entities, Earth and Sky, combined to create the next generation of gods, 12 Titans, including Oceanus, Hyperion, Themis, Iapetus, and especially Cronus, the youngest, strongest, and most cunning son. But alongside the Titans, they also birthed giant creatures considered monsters, the Cyclopes, one-eyed giants, and the Hecatonchires, creatures with 100 hands and 50 heads. Uranus, fearing the power of his children, imprisoned them deep, within the earth, in Gaia's own body. This caused Gaia great pain and anger. She decided to revolt. Gaia forged a stone sickle and gave it to Cronus. On a fateful night, when Uranus approached Gaia, Cronus ambushed him and castrated his father, throwing his severed parts into the sea. From the foam of the sea, Aphrodite, the goddess of love and beauty, was born. With this act, Cronus overthrew his father and took the throne of the universe, becoming the second king in Greek mythology. Cronus and the fear of fate, but power always comes with fear. Cronus received a prophecy. One of his children would overthrow him, just as he had done to his father. In panic, Cronus made a ruthless decision to swallow all his newborn children. One by one, Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, Poseidon, they were swallowed, imprisoned within his own belly, but Rhea, Cronus's wife and also his sister, could no longer bear it. When it came time for the youngest child, Zeus, Rhea tricked Cronus with a stone wrapped in a blanket and secretly hid Zeus on the island of Crete, where the god was raised in secrecy by deities and mythical creatures. Zeus grew up not only with superior strength but also with a mission to overthrow Cronus, free his imprisoned siblings, and end the era of the Titans.
Part 2. The Titan War and the Olympus Era. When Zeus matured, he knew the moment had arrived, the moment to face his destiny. With the help of the goddess Metis, Zeus devised a plan to make Cronus vomit up all the children he had swallowed. The younger gods, Hestia, Demeter, Hera, Hades, and Poseidon. They reunited, and a new alliance was formed, the second generation of gods, powerful, intelligent, and eager for justice. Titanomachy, the war between the gods, but Cronus was not easily overthrown. He summoned the Titans, those loyal to the old world, and from there a massive war erupted. It lasted 10 years, shaking the sky, earth, and seas. The Greeks called it Titanomachy, the war between the gods and the Titans. At first, the younger gods were at a disadvantage. The Titans were too strong, too many. But Zeus turned to forgotten allies, the creatures once imprisoned by his father. The Cyclopes, the one-eyed giants, forged Zeus's powerful lightning bolt, an unstoppable weapon. The Hecatoncheires, creatures with 100 hands, with the power to lift mountains, were freed from Tartarus and joined the fight. The river god Styx and the goddess of justice, Themis, also sided with Zeus, symbols of fair choice and a new order. Finally, Zeus delivered the decisive blow. He threw the peak of Mount Othrys, the Titan's stronghold, into the abyss of Tartarus, imprisoning all the defeated Titans there forever, under the watch of the Hecatoncheires. The era of the Titans ended. Zeus ascends to the throne and the Olympus era begins. After the triumphant victory, Zeus and his siblings faced an important decision: how to divide the universe. Zeus claimed dominion over the sky and thunder, becoming the king of the gods. Poseidon ruled the vast oceans where storms and tempests were his power.
Hades became the lord of the underworld, where the souls of the dead resided and dark secrets were buried. The three brothers established a new order, and Mount Olympus, the highest mountain in Greece, became the headquarters of
the gods, where divine councils took place, and from there, their power spread throughout the universe. A new dynasty was established. This was the era of Olympus, where the gods no longer fought for power, but began to directly influence the fate of humanity. Part 3. The 12 Olympian gods. After the glorious victory over the Titans, a divine dynasty was born, the Olympian dynasty. On the highest mountain in the world, 12 of the most powerful gods reside in their eternal palace, determining the fate of the world and humanity. 1. Zeus, king of the gods. At the head of them all is Zeus, the god of the sky, thunder, and justice. He rules Olympus and symbolizes absolute power and order. Though mighty, Zeus is also famous for his numerous affairs, which lead to many tragic tales in Greek mythology. 2. Hera, goddess of marriage and family wife, and also sister of Zeus. Hera is the goddess who protects marriage, loyalty, and women. However, she is often known as a jealous goddess, ruthless towards Zeus's lovers and his illegitimate children. 3. Poseidon, god of the sea. Zeus's brother, Poseidon, rules the oceans wielding his famous trident, capable of creating earthquakes and tsunamis with a single swing. He is a proud god, quick to anger, and often the cause of troubles for Greek heroes setting out to sea. 4. Hades, god of the underworld. Not residing on Olympus, but still one of the most powerful, Hades governs the world of the dead, the gloomy land known as the underworld. He is serious, not cruel but unforgiving, fair to all souls passing through the gates of the underworld. He is also the husband of Persephone, a marriage that is both mythological and rich in metaphor. Other prominent gods of Olympus. 5. Athena, goddess of wisdom and strategy. Born from the head of Zeus, Athena represents wisdom, tactics, and justice. She is the protector of Athens, a city that honors intellect and the arts, and also a goddess who never falls in love. 6. Apollo, god of light, music, and prophecy. Son of Zeus and Leto, Apollo is the god of the arts, light, and truth. He protects the Oracle of Delphi, where prophets convey the gods' oracles. Additionally, Apollo is an extraordinary archer. 7. Artemis, goddess of hunting and the moon. The twin sister of Apollo, Artemis is the goddess of the wild, animals, and chastity. She is always accompanied by a band of female hunters and never accepts the love of men unless she is offended. 8. Ares, god of bloodthirsty war. Son of Zeus and Hera, Ares embodies brutality, chaos, and the fury of war. He is often criticized by the other gods, but in battle, no one is more ruthless than Ares. 9. Aphrodite, goddess of love and beauty. Born from the sea foam, Aphrodite is the embodiment of love, charm, and desire. Her beauty, however, is the cause of many wars, including the famous Trojan War. 10. Hermes, god of messengers and clever tricksters. With his winged sandals, Hermes is the messenger of the gods and also the god of commerce, thievery, and travelers. He is a quick-witted, mischievous god who often intervenes in the affairs of mortals in unexpected ways. 11. Hephaestus, god of fire and smithing. Though physically ugly and cast off Olympus by Zeus as a child, Hephaestus is a genius in crafting weapons and tools for the gods. He is the husband of Aphrodite, a marriage that is oppositional yet symbolic. 12. Hestia or Dionysus, goddess of the hearth, god of wine. In some versions of mythology, Hestia, the goddess of the hearth and home, makes way for Dionysus, the god of wine and revelry, who brings madness, emotion, and passion. Regardless of who takes the 12th seat, both play an essential role in completing the emotional and spiritual world of Greek mythology. The 12 gods, 12 personalities, 12 powers, each representing different aspects of the human world and nature. They are not just supernatural beings, they are symbols of human fears, hopes, virtues, and even mistakes. Part 4. Iconic Stories. Greek mythology is not just about gods and powers, but also stories filled with human elements, where heroes, mortals, and monsters intertwine in a world full of tragedy and magic. Below are the most prominent myths, passed down through thousands of years, like the undying flame of Greek civilization. A. Prometheus and the fire for mankind. Prometheus, a titan with a compassionate heart, stole fire from Zeus to give it to humanity, symbolizing the light of knowledge and civilization. This noble act led to his brutal punishment. He was chained to a rock, where an eagle would tear at his liver every day, and the liver would regenerate eternally. This story is not just a tragedy, but also a symbol of sacrifice for the advancement of humankind. B. Pandora and the Box of Misfortune. To punish humanity for Prometheus's actions, Zeus created Pandora, the first woman, beautiful yet mysterious. She was given a box or jar and was forbidden to open it. But curiosity won, and from the box, all of humanity's miseries poured out: disease, war, jealousy. Only hope remained inside. This story deeply explores the nature of humanity and the cost of curiosity. C. Medusa and Perseus. Medusa, one of the 3 Gorgons, was a creature with snakes for hair, and her gaze could turn anyone to stone. Perseus, the son of Zeus, was tasked with killing her. With the help of the gods, Perseus decapitated Medusa using a shield that reflected her gaze. From Medusa's blood, the divine horse Pegasus was born. This is one of the legendary feats, showing intelligence, bravery, and divine aid. D. Theseus and the Minotaur. On the island of Crete, King Minos imprisoned a monster, the Minotaur, half man, half bull, in the labyrinth. Theseus, the prince of Athens, volunteered to enter the labyrinth to slay the creature. With the help of Ariadne's thread, he found his way out after defeating the Minotaur, a symbol of the struggle between reason and wild instincts. E. Jason and the Golden Fleece. Jason, along with his band of heroes, the Argonauts, set out to find the Golden Fleece, a symbol of power and recognition. They faced numerous trials, battling dragons, overcoming the enchanting sirens, and many other mythical creatures. This is the quintessential adventure story, reflecting the quest for ideals and proving one's worth. F. The Trojan War. It all began with love. or a beauty contest. Paris, the Prince of Troy, awarded the golden apple to the goddess Aphrodite in exchange for the love of Helen, the most beautiful woman in the world. Helen was taken to Troy, and from there, the greatest war in mythology erupted. Achilles, the unbeatable warrior, Hector, the heroic prince, Odysseus, the wise strategist, and the infamous wooden horse all came together in a glorious tragedy that lasted 10 years. A symphony of love, loyalty, pain, and sacrifice. Hercules and the 12 labors. Hercules, the son of Zeus and a mortal woman, is the greatest hero in Greek mythology. Despised by Hera, Hercules was cursed and, in a fit of madness, killed his own family. To atone for his actions, he had to complete 12 seemingly impossible labors, slay the Nemean lion, capture Cerberus, the three-headed dog of the underworld, clean the stables of King Augeas in a single day. Each labor is a metaphor for overcoming fate, regaining honor, and seeking forgiveness. These stories, though considered mere legends, reflect the pain, aspirations, and profound moral lessons of humankind. That is why Greek mythology continues to be told, thousands of years after its birth. Part 5. Conclusion. The legacy and influence of Greek mythology. Ultimately, Greek mythology is not just a collection of ancient stories passed down through generations. They have become a living legacy of Western culture, deeply influencing everything from art, literature, philosophy, to modern language and society. Cultural legacy. The stories of gods, heroes, and monsters not only reflect ideals of divinity, power, and humanity, but also shape the worldview and philosophy of millions of generations. Greek gods such as Zeus, Athena, and Hercules have become symbols not only in artistic works, but also deeply ingrained in cultural values: power, courage, wisdom, and sacrifice. Influence on art and literature. From classical paintings to Hollywood films, from poetic works to plays, Greek mythology has been an endless source of inspiration for artists and authors for centuries. Movies like 300, Clash of the Titans, and Wonder Woman, featuring a character who is the daughter of Zeus, or stories like Percy Jackson, all directly inherit elements of Greek mythology. Powerful images like Medusa, the Minotaur, or the Trojan horse have become iconic symbols in modern pop culture. Influence on philosophy and thought. Greek mythology also addresses profound questions about life, fate, and ethics, significantly influencing Western philosophy. From Socrates and Plato to philosophers like Nietzsche, the images and lessons from these myths are frequently referenced in philosophical studies. For example, the story of Prometheus teaches us about sacrifice for humanity, while Medusa offers a lesson about judgment and justice. Influence on society and language. Modern language also contains countless words derived from Greek mythology. Words like Titanic, gigantic, great, and Herculean, difficult, great, reflect the profound impact Greek mythology has on daily life. Even the Olympic Games, one of the world's largest sporting events, is named after Olympus, the home of the gods. Lessons on humanity and the world. Each mythological story is not just an adventure or battle between gods, but also a lesson about human character. Greek mythology teaches us about hubris and punishment, about personal sacrifice for the greater good, and about the cost of curiosity and thoughtless actions. These lessons remain relevant today as humanity continues to face challenges, conflicts, and decisions in life. Conclusion. Thus, Greek mythology is not just a collection of ancient stories, but the soul of Western culture, profoundly influencing every aspect of our society. Whether in art, literature, or language, the stories of gods, heroes, and monsters continue to be an inexhaustible source of inspiration. Therefore, when we look back at Greek mythology, we do not just see the past, but a mirror reflecting the issues and values we face in the modern world. Thank you for joining us on this journey through Greek mythology. We hope these stories have provided you with a deep understanding of a legendary culture, as well as valuable lessons for today's life. See you in the next video. Top of form, bottom of form.